Okay, so now I would like to go over making contact with your opponent and actually using your motion, your pressure to move your opponent. So again, I think we already went off the open. You guys saw all the fakes. I would like to, this would be more for mid and close range. So again, I'm here with my opponent, and every time I do wrestle, guys, I never try to reach right away. What I like to do is I like to eventually touch forehead to forehead, and that's when I'll eventually take my reach, right? So I have a few reaches that I could reach off the mid range in order for me to pull my opponent. We have the collar tie, boom. Oh, actually we'll do 4. Collar tie. We have the inside tie here. We have the outside tie here, and we have wrist grabs here. So we can all be mid-range wrestlers, but we're gonna fall into these categories: collar, inside tie, outside tie, and wrist, like so. So again, this goes back to how I talked about earlier before. It's you know, it's wrestling. It could almost be a dance. It's a dance. When we move, we're not crossing our legs. We're always in position to eventually get our takedowns. So again, just like so, we'll start off with the collar. We'll go collar, and I'll go wrist here, right? And that's all I'm gonna do. Press my opponent. Press, move my opponent to the right, and eventually when I do go to the left, this side, what I like to do is I like to switch. Steering wheel, right? Steering wheel, right? Steering wheel. Let's not forget what I went over earlier today. We can always what? Fake, right? So we can add that. But as of right now, we're just going off with pressure. Collar tie, pressing forward, steering wheel to the right, steering wheel to the left, like so. Inside collar, same thing. Pressing using my hand, pull back, pressing to the side, pressing to the side. Now we go outside. Same thing. Pressing our opponent forward, pressing them back, pressing to the side, and eventually going to the opposite side. Now let's go wrist. Wrist, pressing my opponent, pulling them back, pressing to the side, and really pressing to the side. Let's go close range. Close range for all those strong, powerful wrestlers. We're going underhook here, pressing our opponent here, pressing them back, moving them here, actually moving them here. 2-on-1, boom. Pressing our opponent here, forward, pressing our opponent back, pressing our opponent to the side, pressing him the other way. But we're constantly using his own biomechanics to lead our opponents. But again, I'm not just using arms. I'm using hips. I'm using every limb of my body to press my opponent, to get him go forward, get him to go to the side, get him to go. Like I'm using my hands and feet and my whole body to do that, right? So we went underhook, press, 2-on-1, using them, pressing them forward, moving them to the side. You know, this is close. Same thing off the overhook here. Same thing, even here. Even playing defensive, I can still control my opponent, bringing my hips in, jerking them to the side, jerking them to the other side, pulling them down. Like all this has to do with pressure. All this has to do with pressure. Let's go over under off the close distance here, pressing our opponent here, pressing our opponent back. Like we have sweeps. We don't always have to lock. We could grab both shoulder blades. We got sweeps to this side here. We take our opponent down, but it's manipulating our opponent, setting traps to be able to press, pull them for whichever takedown we decide to use, right? So again, we're here, press them forward, press them back. Check this out. I can let go here. I can find that. Start to look for my sweeps. What I'm telling you guys here today, it's learn how to use your fakes, your setups, your motion, your pressure, all into one. All into one.